Yo, what up, internet? Welcome to Bricks and Beer, episode 55. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers, Ace. He made it, finally. I know it's crazy to record 2 episodes between the last time we hung out.
I know.
That, never happens. Usually it's 2 months. But yeah, it's been busy. LA's been on fire. I drunkenly tried to talk about that last night, and I just kind of failed at language. So the episode before this one,
The fires are crazy right now.
a little bit of a shit show, but it's crazy right now. Yeah. So yeah, LA's on fire, but it's fine. We're not in the on fire part.
Yeah. We're a bit south of it, and it's funny because a lot of people who don't live in the area say, "Are you near the fire?" And it's like, no.
Oh my god, yeah, I've been driving all over Los Angeles too. I drove by on the 405 today, the super viral one where they show the dude driving into Dante's.
Was the freeway closed?
No, it was open. It was open,
still
but they were doing the airdrops.
Oh shit!
And I was like, that's probably bad for my car. What am I doing?
Gets into your intake.
Yeah, good times. So real quick, let's talk about the beer. I'm super stoked on this beer. This is the Lagunitas Born Yesterday Pale Ale. It's fresh hopped.
So the nice lady at Bevbo highly recommended this one and could not contain herself. And
it's a good one. It's from Iceland.
Yeah, Icelandic white ale. She said to drink it in an ice cold mug, which Andrew, I didn't even ask if you had, but I was just taking it straight from the bottle.
We have actual real beer steins and stuff, but I never really.
They're not frozen, are they?
No,
they're not pre-frozen.
No.
Okay.
My fridge is fucking up though, and freezing all of our produce.
Oh, shit.
I think I have to buy a new fridge. Happy holidays.
Being a homeowner.
Oh, dude, yeah. All the problems are your problems.
Yep.
So Ace is back here. He's back. He brought a ton of beer. He brought this beer.
I brought beer. I brought gifts.
Yes.
And a lot of brick.
Giant boxes.
Yeah.
The first thing that he fucking tells me about, he just casually drops the biggest agent's truck set ever. He goes, I think there's something missing. But
I took 1 or 2 bags out to get the one part that was rare that was in there.
Oh, of course.
So I don't know how much of that you can build.
Dude, it's awesome. It'll probably just go straight into the sorting.
Yeah.
What I like about this is just look at how fucking ridiculous the flat packaging is. This is the size of me.
See, I miss the flat packaging to give you a really good idea of
the
OG
one with
into.
the plastic tray.
Yeah,
those were the best.
See, those are awesome. And then that particular set I got because of a lot of the dark blue and just tons of little hidden compartments and shit you can build in there.
It's got one of my favorite minifig dudes ever. This spider guy. Where over there. Because he's got this cyberpunk multi-eye the visor thing.
He's like a Triclops.
Yeah.
But here, I wanted to show this part. This is the part that I really like. The I don't know how to point to this little compartment hidden underneath that where you can stow away the ATV and the boat. I mean, how rad is that?
These are well designed sets.
This is a really good one. I mean, you get tons of shit in here. Anyways, this is back in the heyday when Agents 2.0 is the hot shit.
So since Ace also has been here last, I had to expand the wall because he's giving me shit tons of Lego.
Yeah, he's gonna need to add another drawer.
This one is empty. It's just waiting. It's literally waiting.
Oh, you need more than that. You're gonna need way more than that.
So at some point, Ace is gonna fucking just collapse my entire Lego room, and I'm gonna have to say no more. But for the time being, he's just showing up with fucking epic shit.
Andrew's cup has not runneth over yet.
Yes. It'll get there. Yeah. So the other thing that Ace brought over, which is fucking super rad, is following up on the infamous D-Wing.
Yeah,
John Palmer's D-Wing.
When Andrew ran into that in the last stash I gave him, he was completely stoked. And I honestly had no idea he had such an appreciation for Mr. Palmer's work. And he gave it a back. And
I'm not the only one. Keith Goldman told me not to bring this around him because he'd snatch it away like a gold chain.
So then over text messages, I told him, Well, okay, the story of how I even got this was that way back in the day, John did an entire alphabet project in his own style. And at some point later on, he auctioned off a lot of the models to finance, I think it was to finance a trip to BrickCon.
Which
so,
is a very John Palmer thing to do.
And so at the time, I felt like it was my duty as the guy running FBTV to preserve as much of it as I can. And so I bought all of them except one. One of them got away from me.
Which is crazy. Like, I love that you just swooped in.
I know.
Like, I'm doing all of them.
And yeah, and I didn't tell anybody. And people on the forums at the time were like, "Who is this fucker? Like buying all this shit? God damn it!" Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, bad. I don't even remember which one it was, but I feel like I got the best one. No disrespect to the D, but it's this one right here. That's in shambles.
So there are
the
6
G-Wing
fighters.
Yeah, I got 6 out of the 7.
Yeah.
So the D was one. The G is another.
They're all in just like Ziploc bags in multiple parts right now. So we kind of did some research. Like, we looked at John Palmer's long defunct Flickr, which is full of like botany and horticulture shit. And then it's like, oh, you used to do Lego.
But we didn't have to scroll too far to find some reference material.
Yeah. So we're gonna put some of these together. Ace gave me the color schemes ahead of time, so like we started just kind of like putting pilots together and stuff to go with them.
So for the G-Wing, which is mostly green,
there you go.
We have a classic space.
That's the new one that comes in that town set.
Oh,
it's like a novelty thing.
It's still badass.
Yeah,
if it wasn't,
it's rad.
Yeah, if it wasn't this one, I would have brought the green classic space minifig from the
from that
set.
exosuit.
Yeah, the exosuit set.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
our buddy Pete, good old Pete. So this one is the one that I'm gonna start building together. I believe this is the F-wing, right?
I don't know, but that's in like 2 pieces, so you'll be done in like a
second. Yeah. But there's also just like a random dinosaur and a plane in here. So
I told you I was into aircraft.
Discovery.
I was totally into aircraft at the time.
Some of this stuff is like super old too, so it's like super yellowed and just nasty, which is great. So I am kind of legitimately stoked about this dinosaur that's in here.
Look at that. I already figured out the angle on this thing. Look at that. It's already taking shape. I think this does the same thing.
That has the Duplo cockpit.
Yeah, this Duplo egg, which I think when John showed this, either I think it was Brookshelf or Flickr at the time, I think a bunch of people bought these.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
But it's starting to... I gotta find the other pin.
Oh, I see. So this was your seaplane version of this mini plane build of yours. In a way, I kind of feel like I should have kept all the stuff that was sort of built that was like weird sets and just cleaned them all up and presented it back to you. Here's this weirdness. Oh, I think your plane's missing an engine.
Is it? Oh, maybe.
Or maybe it's just weird. Oh, it looks like, according to the dust. Okay.
Oh, see? Yeah, come on, look how cool that looks.
Yeah, it's not bad, you know. The graphic on the tail is rad. It's totally dying. It's like cracked and gonna flake off.
Yeah.
But it's pretty awesome. It kind of reminds me of like Pan Am, like super dated. And then the other thing in this bag, and this was really easy to identify because it says JP3 right on it. It's this super realistic, high detailed dinosaur. It's the Spinosaurus. The printing is actually really awesome on this. I'll probably turn this into something else, some sort of alien. So yeah, good times.
Wow, he was doing like connections that don't connect long before.
Oh, you broke it.
I suck. Yeah, I mean, one of the things that this was. By the way, I'm gifting all of these ships to Andrew, and
that means certain people are going to have to take on some certain responsibilities.
Yes, they will be bestowed a great responsibility. But I am keeping one of them, and the one I am keeping is this G-wing because it blew my mind, like what the angles he was able to achieve, and using such non-conventional parts like the Duplo egg to build this thing. I mean, I think it was just kind of just way ahead of its time. I mean, like I don't know how much people were building in this way back in the day, because I mean, I didn't. Yeah. I'm not a builder by any means. I think a lot of people know that.
But I think you are steeped in the culture. You know tons of people who are building, and you run a fan website, so it's like you have an appreciation for.
I do. I have a heavy appreciation.
The art and how it works. And I think you have a deeper appreciation than sort of like Joe Schmo on the street, because you understand the actual, like, sort of mechanics of the hobby.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
The complexity. Yeah. It's just, I know this shit's not as easy to do.
I'm going to make some
educated
guesses on some of this.
I tip my hat to those who can. Because I can't.
I think you can.
I got the landing part done.
Dude, this seemed to be no problem.
Now it's figure out what to do with the rest of this shit.
Look
at that. That's. What piece is that from? Is that from the old submarine sets?
Yeah, it's post Aquazone. It was like the second wave of Aquazone where they had the manta rays.
Uh-huh.
And then there was, it's the third wave. It's like the crab wave. It had a lot of the trans neon green with like the eye prints.
Mm-hmm.
So this is pretty rad. This is the F-wing. It's super mean. I'm not sure if I have this engine on the correct way. I'm kind of thinking it goes this way, but then
I think it goes that way because I remember there was a contact made between
the two.
Yeah.
All right, maybe I can fuck around here. It would kind of make sense because there's a thing on the top there too. It's part of the challenge with like sort of recreating this stuff is, one, I've never seen any of these models in person, but two, there's really like very limited reference material out there. Like, we did not find a photo of the F-wing, but I figured this one would be easy because it was like literally like 3 pieces. But so far I'm challenged. There's also a pretty hefty coating of dust.
So I'm going to cheat a little bit.
Yeah, do it.
In case you're wondering, I'm looking at Flickr. I'm not staring strangely into the camera.
No, you're creeping people out, dude. Dude, look at this wheel part. This is crazy. I've never seen this this wheel. This is for you guys at home. Some sort of crazy wheel. I think we can kind of do best of both worlds here. Let's see. Oh shit.
What happened?
I didn't expect this to be full of macaroni bricks. I thought it would just be like, your standard one. Dude, this is wild. I don't know what this is from. This is some sort of crazy Technic wheel thing. It looks like it takes treads. Probably treads are supposed to wrap around that. Legit. So I don't know if this is going to be a super boring episode for people or a super interesting episode for people while we sit here and put these things back together. Sometimes I watch people's like YouTube live builds of stuff and I'm like, this is so not for me.
Have you ever done that?
No,
Live build?
no, this is as close as I've gotten to that.
I've actually thought about doing that.
I've
seen people do it. People say, people watch and you can make money. I'm like, really? I think of anything more boring.
Well, people kind of watch anything. There's a bunch of assholes who watch this.
That's true. I'm missing a key component here.
I'm not sure if this backpack is from the ship or if it's from your Jurassic Park 3
No, it's probably from the
plane set.
I think it's right there.
Oh, yeah, that's got to be it. Yeah, that's rad. This kind of reminds me of the Houndstooth Bosk's ship, the bounty hunter from Star Wars. Because it's just like mean. It's got like giant front.
What the fuck is underneath? Looking at John's Flickr page right now.
This is the
trying to figure out how he did
the one
this
model
shit.
that he has like really nice photos of.
Yeah.
The other ones, we had to look up Brickshelf. We went into the
Brickshelf.
dark place of the internet.
God, when I came onto the Lego scene and people were posting shit on Brickshelf, I thought it was the fucking worst interface. How could you fucking find anything?
Oh, it's terrible. Like, we just
God.
used it, and I haven't used Brickshelf for a long time, and it's fucking painful. It's goddamn, just stupid.
I would rather die than have to deal with Brickshelf again. See, I think it's how?
Dude, so this is the J-Wing. For those of you guys at home. Number one, this is like, I don't know if you guys could see that. That is a layer of dust. These are all getting cleaned up later after they get assembled. The other thing is, this J-Wing, it's seen some shit, dude. You can see the yellowing on the camera. Normally you can't see the yellowing on the camera.
Oh, no.
This one, I like how for some reason, this like 2x1 with the bar, it just hung on. It was a champ. Everything around it was dying, and it was like, I got this. Whatever the fucking like.
Yeah, it's weird, like how some pieces like can resist the yellowing, and some pieces just fucking
they just give up, dude. Yeah. They just give up. They're over it. The J-Wing. It's always weird when you put other people's models together. I feel like you commune with them on a deeper level.
Yeah, there's a definite I think there's a definite like larger sense of appreciation when you figure out, oh, that's what they did, you know?
Yeah. Well, you definitely, it's kind of getting the behind the scenes a little bit.
How the fuck?
Oh man, this windscreen part. Oh, this is the Jack Stone one. That's why. So the ratchet on this, at first I just thought it was like broken because it's like flippy floppy. But it's because it only has the 2 points. It stays up and it stays down because you're like a dumb 3-year-old. You can't handle this. Which is actually really nice for this design, the way this is like angled in.
See, that's a credit to John Palmer's use of rare fucking, or not rare, but like unusual parts.
Yeah, definitely like had a knack for being able to exploit things that nobody else was doing. It's kind of weird. It's like we talk about this guy like he's dead. He's just living in Tulsa, Oklahoma, growing plants.
When was the last time you talked to him or interacted with him?
I mean, the last time I saw him was 2008. So it's 9 years ago. But I mean, I think he briefly came back online to do the flicker thing for a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and then just disappeared. But for like a dude like that, it's kind of like that's sort of the norm in a way. Those kind of dudes don't.
Like as if he's entering a dark ages.
Yeah. Well, and it's like I kind of feel like it's you know, you want all your favorite rock stars to die young and not become lame. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not to hate on anybody's bands or anything, but like, if you're into AC/DC in 1985, like, yeah, amazing, right? Awesome, rock and roll.
Right.
But if you're into AC/DC right now, it's like, you're somebody's dad. Like,
Yeah.
they're not as cool. Everybody's sober. The art is not as good. Oh shit!
Man, this is an exercise in snot construction because there's shit that goes all kinds of directions.
Yeah, he does some really interesting stuff. So this is the J-wing. I have one component to put back on it. Oh, it's covered in dust. It's basically like a Republic gunship, right?
Yeah.
So I got my little clone
If I remember
dude.
correctly, that was the inspiration.
Yeah, I mean, it's even got like the logos on it and everything. But dude, look at this. It's got this hatch in here with just like fucking awesome greebles. That's pretty cool.
It's a nice little detail that
But
you wouldn't normally see.
What's a trip is like, look at this. This is all snotted in here. So the bottom is super clean, super smooth. For, 10 years ago, that's pretty slick. And then there's this. I'm trying to figure out. I think there's a bomb. I think that's what this is. But maybe not.
Must have gone like fucking this or some shit, dude. Alright, I'm totally making shit up now at this point.
That's kind of okay.
Let's see, like, how else he was able to do this.
I kind of feel like if you can get it into a solid form, that's kind of the first step. Yeah, so last night on the episode I recorded with Jeff, I don't know whenever you guys watched that one. Maybe it was last night, maybe it was like weeks ago. But Jeff got a little loose. We were having a good time. We were on a call with some friends of ours prior to us recording that episode. So we were kind of partying with a group of dudes. And fucking at like the very end, we finally get to talking about the new Nexonite shit. And like within 10 seconds, somehow we fuck up. He touches the keyboard.
Oh no.
And the podcast just ends.
Oh no.
And I was like, you know what? We could like re-record something with like a fucking outro, or we could just be like, it's fine.
All right, so I figured out the fucking ladder. So when the ship's in flight, it tucks away right underneath. Right. Oops. Fucking camera. It tucks away right underneath, and then when it lands, it deploys out.
Oh, dude.
Like that.
That's fucking slick.
So when it's on the ground, you see the guy can climb right up.
Yeah, it seems like all of these have some degree of like functional landing gear. Like
Yeah.
The F-wing has these pods, and like they're really well done. I mean, the action is kind of dated in that it's all click hinge based, sort of, or at least on this one. But like, I mean, look at that. It's super smooth. Totally works. Totally great. The D-Wing does not have any landing gear, at least to my knowledge, but it does have this, which kind of like evens it.
Okay, so the other thing that really attracted me to the G-Wing was that it's not gonna. I don't know if we could see it, but that cockpit on the inside.
Oh, fucking, that's legit.
It just rotates. Now,
yeah,
it's pretty loose, but I think it's just like
Is it
I don't
just
think
floating?
I don't think it's just perfect because he stabbed an antenna into the bottom of the thing. I imagine there was already a hole there, and he just kind of made it bigger.
Yeah, I don't know. I
And
don't
then
know
it-
how the Duplo eggs work.
Yeah,
I've
and
never
then it
had one.
anchors to that, and I think gotta be some. See, and it's supposed to just spin with gravity, kind of like the way the B-wing cockpit kind of rotates.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, and then when you land, the seat folds down to the
Oh, cool.
face the ladder.
Yeah. So it's like the
Oh,
Slave
yeah.
One.
And then the little cockpit, the little instrument panels kind of fold out.
Oh, that's legit.
Yeah.
So it has
And then this
2
tilts
axes
back.
of movement plus movable controls.
And you slap that on there.
Yeah, that's fucking gangster,
Isn't
dude.
it?
Oh, I think this is
Now,
actually...
the only thing is, I have these 3 pieces left over that I can't figure out where they go.
Dude, so this is actually like a really gangster part.
Yeah.
This is the UCS X-Wing
Oh yeah.
thruster.
Yeah.
There's only... There's 4 to a set,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to buy that set, and that set is worth money now.
And it was the only one that it only came in that color in that set, right? Yes, I think at the time.
I think it's actually a fairly rare part. It's technically it's a flower pot, but I don't think they produce it for many other things. I think it comes in that color and maybe like 2 other colors, and that's it.
Oh, I think I found where these are supposed to go.
I'm gonna do some cheating. Oh, you know what? So what's fucking weird is we were trying to figure this out, right? So we're looking up stuff on Brickshelf, and we found this dude who's not John Palmer, but he made CAD models of John Palmer shit. But he fucking took shortcuts. This is not an accurate render. God damn
I
it.
think he had to do a lot of guesswork like we're doing right now.
Well, no, but like this is the wrong size cone. Like, motherfucker. So Teal Sun Crusher. Shout out to you on Brickshelf.
we're on to you.
I guess
Oh,
these
man.
are all right. I mean,
Okay.
dude, I love that there's this dude who just like made these fucking like computer renders in 2001 and probably has not looked at this since then. Yet, still lives.
All right, that's pretty fucking satisfying.
Nice. You figure out where they went?
Yeah, they went behind on the engines.
On the legs.
Yeah, let's see if I could show. Yeah, they went right there.
Wow, that thing is rad,
There.
dude.
I mean, the angles he was able to achieve, I mean, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it kind of splays out and like, it's not straight. There's no like real right angles on this thing. The bottom's completely snotted. This is genius for a non-standard Duplo, using a non-standard Duplo part.
Well, and it's like that Duplo part. That's a big area to fill.
It's a huge fucking A, dude. And
you got to put the pilot in there, dude. Put
oh
that
yeah,
dude in
fuck
there.
yeah. So Andrew built pilots, and we're gonna
Throw that dude in there.
Where's this guy? Let's see if he can fit with his backpack on.
Yeah, some of these, it's weird because it's part of the dating thing is the helmets at the time that he was building these. There wasn't the, like, huge variety of different shit. But I'm pretty sure.
Okay, how badass is that?
Oh,
He
dude.
fits with the air
With the
tank
air
on.
tank. Yeah.
Well, slightly. There we go. No, there we go. Look at that.
Dude, that's rad. Boom.
Fuck yeah, dude. All right, let's move on.
Awesome.
So we got the J and F, and
so
then
we got the J,
and
the
the
G, and the F.
in the time that you spent to do, I did
J,
one, you
G.
did 2.
Yeah, but mine were. You took the most complex one.
All right, I think this one is H.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna get another beer. Hey, what liquor store did you go to?
Bevmo.
Bevmo. So, 21st Amendment Brewing is pretty good. Scotty's all about them.
How perfect is that?
This seems appropriate. The old fireside chat, just like Ace and I are having.
All we need is a fire.
It's a ale with spices. It's supposed to be like a winter beer. This might be like ginger beer as fuck, or like some people like do the holiday thing and they're like, yeah, just throw a pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice beer.
It's not even pumpkin. Like there's no pumpkin.
All right,
it's not bad.
I'm halfway there. Now the cool thing about the H-wing is that if you see the cockpit, you'd think it goes like this, right? Like every other ship that ever uses this cockpit piece. But if you notice the dust pattern, it is only on this side. The cockpit goes sideways. And I think, if I remember the story correctly, they were designed for Jedi twins.
Oh, that's rad.
And they used this ship like psionically, telepathically, whatever the fuck. And they sit down. I didn't tell you that this one required 2 pilots because all this information is coming back to me right now.
Easy enough. I'll make them.
So
we can do the guy girl as you do with Star Wars. Dude, so I heard this thing. So speaking of Star Wars, because you obviously love Star Wars, right?
I do.
So episode 8's coming out in 2 weeks. Like, no, less than that. A week.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Next week, dude.
Yeah.
Get your tickets?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Dude, we're on that. I don't even want to tell people where I'm seeing it because like it's sort of like my best kept secret because I feel like it's so easy now.
Well, it's not the ArcLight over in the. Oh, sorry.
So like back in the day when I was in high school, you had to buy tickets like 4 weeks in advance. You had to go and like pay somebody money. Yeah. And then you had to show up because it wasn't just like, hey, sit in fucking aisle 5G or whatever. No. It was like
you had to get there early.
You had to get there to get the best seat and like whatever. And now it's one of those things like I don't understand how I lived without GPS. And like paying for the movie where I just picked the seat.
Oh god, the reserve seating system has been like the best thing since fucking text messaging.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty fucking life changing. So the thing anyway, back to episode 8. So I listened to a couple of different podcasts and like they're always talking about Star Wars and the one dude's obsessed. And the question is, what is Rey's parentage and what's her relationship to Kylo? And the one guy's like, they're fucking or they're related. It's one of the two because that's what Star Wars is. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm intrigued though. I think this I'm pretty well hyped for this dude's thing. Like, let's see how this goes.
Rian Johnson.
Well, because they fucking signed him up. They were like, dude, here's 3 more. You can just take it.
I mean, he's got to have some skill, right? They wouldn't just hand this over to anybody.
Well, I think like they're trying to do interesting and risky things, but then they're also like, are you gonna not fuck this up and be able to handle this? But whatever he did for episode 8, like that was enough for them to be like, you're our guy. You need to do more of this.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of hoping that it's literally The Empire Strikes Back, the new trilogy.
Oh yeah.
Like different director, kind of different feel than the rest.
So, my hope is for the new trilogy. My hope is that they don't reference any of the old shit.
My favorite like Star Wars shit is either like really weird EU stuff. Like I love Dark Empire. Like, but I want to see Luke go to the dark side and crush AT-ATs with his fucking mind. But then like the other shit I love is like Tales of the Jedi. Like let's just doesn't have to relate. Like,
right.
20,000 year gap or whatever.
Right. See, my whole thing is like I don't mind if there's new characters, right? I actually like the fact that we can have new characters like in Rebels, and it's not for me, but I can appreciate the fact that they're trying something new, right? But what I can't stand is when they have to like bring back like old characters or make references to
the
like,
thing is like there's too much Destiny.
Yeah,
like
it's just too much.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're gonna do something new, just stick with something new. Well, I got that done.
So, do you have any theories? Do you have any insight? What's the official FBTB insight into?
I don't know about that, but about Rey and shit like that.
Yeah, sure. Do you think she's Han Solo's secret love child? People want to know, Ace. People want to know.
I think she's Luke's, to be honest.
Yeah. You think that was?
I think Luke hooked up with some 2-bit hussy on Coruscant and had a child, and the child went off to wherever the fuck, Jakku or wherever the fuck.
This is the C wing. C is for cookie. There's not a whole lot to this, but it's really nice. It's actually the most swooshable out of all these. It feels really good. I like the big lasers. Shooty lasers. Pew pew. It also came with a R2 unit.
Alright,
which is pretty legit.
I gotta put my face close to the camera again.
Why you gotta be so weird?
This fucking thing. So
no, we're both weirdos.
So
is that a bombing?
It might be
dispenser? Is that the reason for the cutout?
With this part?
Oh, yeah. No, it's just like the classic like Star Wars. We're missing a panel.
Yeah,
everything is fucking ghetto.
Everything's old and beat up, so they can't afford to make any repairs on their vehicles. But anyways, I have this 1x1 round, which I can't figure out where the fuck it goes, and everything else.
Oh, did you show off the printing? The printing on these slopes is crazy.
Yeah.
What is that from? Do you know?
I don't know. Oops.
Oh, yeah. Look at that fucking crazy printing. Somewhere.
There we go.
There you go. It's like the...
But there's 2 of them, and it's on that 2x4 slope that...
Which, at that time, like a 2x4 slope was not that common.
It was not. Star Wars was the one that brought it in.
Yeah. I like that it's sort of like the double Y-wing. Like,
yeah.
It totally works.
So, where do you have a pilot for this guy?
Oh,
shit.
Here, there's that one.
Is this Benny?
Well, it's kind of a Benny. And then here, I'll get you.
Blue classic space with beat up printing. That's why I thought it was Benny.
Well, I figured, like, you gotta have some classic space in there, right? These are all sort of classic spaceships.
Let's see if I can get this guy in here.
We're gonna have a twin Benny. Oh man, this is like this is a legit Benny. This is the one with all the gold gone, because that's how it really should look. So sometimes with the helmets, it gets a little sketch. In the F-wing, I had to take what's her name's hair off.
Yeah, I don't think this dude's gonna fit in here with his helmet. So let's try removing it.
Ace happened to bring by, just happenstance, Zam Wessel's fucking car.
Cause I got a lot of shit. That's
and he told me that this had sand red in it, or sand purple. No, this is sand red.
Sand red.
So I was like, oh, but you have Zam Wessel, who's sand purple, goes with this. But Zam can't have hair. But that's fine. She's fine. She doesn't need hair. She's an alien.
There we go. So he'll only fit no air tank and apparently no helmet.
Okay.
There he is, right inside.
Well, they're Jedi. They can breathe underwater and shit, right?
No, they have the little air mouthpiece thing. Because all Jedi carry that shit around, right?
Well,
in case they need to go fucking swimming.
Well, if you're rolling with Qui-Gon.
So much wrong with episode 1.
There is like a lot of like podcasts and stuff that I listen to that are just like, here's how he broke the movie. Like, everything was cool, and then you violated your own rules, and you were the only one in charge.
All right.
So,
So should we review? We did pretty good. It didn't take too long.
We got all 5 together, right?
So here's the H-wing with the double sideways cockpit, which I thought was kind of cool.
It's pretty legit. I like that. I like the concept too of like Jedi twins. I also really like this, the missing panel. Like it's the classic Star Wars thing, right?
Yeah, because he could have easily just put one on there, and just be done with it. But
it's way less work to just put one on there and just not deal with it.
Yeah, because like I don't know if you can see, but inside there's a printed panel, little slope.
Yeah.
That I don't know where that came from.
Oh, it's a RoboForce. They have the worst printing ever. They have one that just says Robo on it, and you're like, what are you gonna do with this?
And he's got this like
little clever ski landing gear. Yeah.
So there's that, and then we got
fucking excellent.
My favorite, the one I'm keeping, the G-wing.
The G. Yeah.
This thing is just fucking gangster, dude.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Love this.
Like beautifully engineered.
Yeah.
Interesting part usage.
Yeah.
Fucking great angles.
And what did you build, Andrew?
I built a C. It's a C.
Yeah, it came with a droid. It's got little storage compartment in the back.
There's a C. It's actually like I really appreciate this one just because it's so swooshable.
Yeah.
Like it feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got a dude.
Not as detailed as the other ships, but again, it's pretty early in the alphabet.
It's like less gimmicky, but it kind of makes sense because like the A-wing isn't gimmicky.
Yeah, the A-wing's pretty plain.
So like, you kind of want. I mean, like I just feel like this is a solid. Like looks like the letter, looks like a spaceship. It's got shooty things. It's pretty good.
Yeah, and like I said, it's got the little storage compartment.
Yeah. It's got the Republic logo, which is fitting. It's thematic, so you can open this up. Keep your.
This could be a pre-evolutionary ship to the fucking Jedi Starfighter.
Yeah,
right?
I mean it's not that
as
different,
stupid
right?
as that is.
Yeah. Or it's like, and I feel like anytime you kind of use this cockpit, that's the thing that's so crazy about this project at this time was like, the canopies were pretty limited. Like we have so many more options now.
Oh yeah.
Modern wise, where it was like, you had this one,
and that was it.
And that was kind of it, unless you went like off the reservation and started using like a Duplo cockpit.
Yeah, or that weird
or
triangular one on the
or a Jack Stone cockpit, because that's just how you roll.
Who would have thought Jack Stone would have made any useful pieces?
And it's Jack Stone at like a 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
Like this is actually really, really clever. So it's like, and it's such a huge dumb windscreen that if you don't have it like hidden. Like, see how it only reveals, like, that much? And then you pull this out, and you're like, God, it's ugly as shit. But, like, when it's in there, it looks fucking great.
Yeah.
And it does totally homage the Republic gunship, but as a fighter, which is pretty rad.
He used the ball joints, which were kind of, I think, newish at the time, too.
Oh, yeah.
Right, that little Technic joint right there.
Yeah, the old Bionicle ball joint. This is a wheel hub, too, which is pretty clever. So you get the full on, ball cannon
Just
thing.
Fucking rad, dude.
And like all of this is great. The little action feature.
Wait a second. Does this flip down? Oh, that right there, the kickstand.
Yeah. This is the landing gear in the back. So it sits pretty flush, and then you can like pop it open. So when it's Jaying, chilling, it can kickstand.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's pretty rad, and like it's almost kind of even better that this is the one that like the yellow just went crazy with, because it feels like this brings it more into the Star Wars universe for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because that's the whole thing, right? Star Wars is like beat up kind of shit, and that's why the prequels were so shocking, because it was like.
Everything was clean.
Everything was super clean. And, like, especially, like, the really Doug Chiang, like, that episode 1 stuff of, like, here's a perfectly clean silver spaceship that's chrome.
Yeah.
It's Justin Bieber's Fisker Coma on the 405. Like, what is happening? But it's it's an interesting aesthetic. And then I think this one's my favorite of the three, the F-wing. Shout out to Frey Dog. I probably have this built wrong. I'm kind of thinking this maybe goes like
goes
this.
that way. You could be right.
Because this reads cleaner as an F.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because that little gap.
Yeah, and I kind of like the little gap. Like I feel like that's really nice. And this little fin on the bottom now actually makes more sense with the landing gear. So
look at that gear.
So if it does lean, it has something to like chill on, right? So there you go. Boom. Yeah, that's totally it. I mean, like it's got fucking sand red, which is rare and crazy and awesome and super limited.
At the time,
this wheel piece, I've never seen this.
This one, this gray one.
Yeah, it's some sort of like tread Technic piece, which is super good, and like it's got this like super aggressive front
and the fucking backpack on the side, dude.
Yeah, man. You know, there's your dude chilling.
Nice.
So,
all right. So you said that Keith Goldman wanted one.
Keith is definitely getting one of these for sure. He did threaten to steal the D-wing away from me.
So which one are you gonna keep, or which ones?
Oh well, I'm gonna keep the D because
Okay.
the D is like, I mean, that's the one. So to be honest, there are plenty of people who want these, who will cherish and take on the responsibility. So my goal is just to keep the D and just keep this train rolling. Because there are people who will like keep these, definitely.
So many dick jokes.
I mean, well then, yeah. I mean, that's what it's there for.
Yeah.
You know, I can touch John
Palmer's
D anytime I want to.
No, the D's a good one. I mean, they're all great.
They're all great. I love the color on this one, and also just this, like the chair sliding thing.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the engineering thing where I'm like, one, you made a spaceship. And it looks like a Star Wars spaceship.
And it's got the little ladder right there.
Yeah, it's built in. Like, look at that. So it's awesome. Jeff really, really wants this one, but I'm gonna be a dick.
Too bad, Jeff.
D for dick.
You live further away from me.
Jeff actually bought these barrels because of this spaceship in this color.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So Keith will definitely get one of these. I'm kind of thinking Keith might get the F-wing because I mean, it's pretty good. This feels very Keith Goldman-esque to me too. Like, I could see this rocking on one of his dios. And then, you know, the other inner circle homies have all spoken about, you know, I mean, Keith and Palmer have sort of like a weird relationship, so I feel like he needs to get one.
Yeah.
But everybody idolizes Palmer, man. Everybody appreciates the work, at least in our weird circles that we run in. Like, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I'm not alone because, you know, when he did his alphabet project, I was like blown away. I mean, I don't know if I can find images for it, but I don't know if you remember the Q-wing. I think it was based off the Quake logo.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Holy shit. That was fucking badass.
Oh God, I wish it's kind of a bummer because like we probably could have done better research.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, what?
Maybe
prep work on your show?
Yeah, exactly. Who wants to do work? Last night's was way less professional than tonight, so I feel like we're already way ahead of the game.
Did you show him the box I brought? The other one? No, this one.
Oh, this one? No, not yet. So the other thing Ace brought me is an official John Palmer's M1 Starfighter.
It's a re-release, really.
That's okay though. That's okay. It's still awesome.
So I made these M-Wing kits for the last BothCon that we did, BothCon 2.
This is a legitimate FBTV.net.
And it was a freebie in the goodie bag.
These instructions are linked in the last video that you and I did.
Oh, nice.
Because I found this and I was like, oh, dude, like these instructions are out there. We should fucking do this.
So we've actually, me and I want to give credit to Don Reitz, Don Solo.
Yeah.
Who helps me on this site.
Shout out to Don.
He did a couple of upgrades on his M-Wing. Which I took to heart and did on mine. But this one is a faithful recreation of the original. The only difference is all the old and old gray is a new gray now.
Oh, sweet.
So it's the bluish tint.
Which I'm cool with.
Yeah. I don't know what color is inside.
The binocle pieces are the tricky part about this. Jeff was telling me he bought 2 binocle sets or 4 binocle sets or something to be able to get.
You need 2 sets to make this.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so he bought 4 sets because he wanted to make 2, and I don't think he ever did. But instructions.
Okay. So when I was making these kits, I mean, I didn't tell anybody I was doing this.
And this is like first gen Bionicle, right?
Yeah.
Which is like at this point now, like that's an antique.
And this particular color, I think, was a McDonald's promo.
Okay.
So you can only get that from McDonald's.
So you don't know what color is inside?
I don't know because when I was making these kits, I scavenged through Bricklink and got every foot piece and mask to make these kits. Oh yeah, look at that. He's got
green. Fuck yeah, it's full of glare, but it's green.
I bought out every single seller that had those pieces.
Rad.
I still have enough feet and masks to do a couple more sets, but
said mask, what we're talking about, and the foot. These used to be little dudes, right? Like little.
Exactly, it was about that.
It was like about that big, like little chibi dudes.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's rad.
This set is.
These parts are like
super tight.
Fucking new, dude.
There's only like 2 studs, 2 visible studs on the entire model once you build it.
Does this have a date on it? No. So first year Bionicle was,
I think it was about the same time as Star Wars.
99?
It was either 99 or 2000.
Yeah, it was right around, I think it might have been earlier than that. But that's crazy. This is like a fucking 20-year-old part then that looks brand new. Brand new. Like gangster brand new. Well, dude, I'm told Ace this before we started recording that he's far too generous. Like, this is out of control. He just shows up and brings boxes of Lego and beer and all kinds of amazing spaceships.
I'm a nice guy.
You are a nice guy, dude. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
I feel like this also has some sort of mutual benefit where, like, you get to appreciate this shit and, like...
Yeah, rebuilding this was great because, you know, I found the John Palmer stuff. It's going to a good home, people who appreciate it. And because I would hate to like dismantle this and throw it into a pile, into a Ziploc bag and hand it to some snot-nosed kid, right? But at least if I can hand it to snot-nosed Andrew, you'll keep it together. You'll give it to other people.
There's a lot of dust.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you to give my G-Wing a bath too.
Oh yeah. No, we'll clean all this up. You are like a skilled photographer. So
I try.
I feel like I should clean all these up, and then you should come over and take photos or whatever. Yeah. I have some lights in the garage that I never use. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we'll definitely take photos. I'll post up the photos eventually somewhere. Like, I'm sure we can just link to the FGTB nostalgia post.
FBTB.net.
So I tried to explain from bricks to bothans.
I did not make up the name. Yeah.
It's the worst name you could have come up with.
I did not make up the name.
They're like,
out of all the
what?
Out of all the things,
the Bothan spies. They got the Death Star plans prior to Rogue One. I understand you want to know about Jyn Erso. How does that fit in with the Bothans? I don't know either.
How can a whole planet of Bothans be just spies? Who are they spying on? Why?
Each other, dude. It's just like, that's the thing, right? Like, you're just like I'm a good spy.
Like Mandalore, right? The whole planet is a bunch of fucking mercenaries.
Yeah, of course. They just hire each other. It's like Dog the Bounty Hunter, but non-stop.
Right, but see, Dog the Bounty Hunter is just one dude. It's not like the entire United States is a bunch of bounty hunters.
Well, but he lives in Florida, right? And like all of Florida.
Isn't he in Hawaii? I don't know.
I'm bad with reality TV.
No, but like that's the thing with Star Wars is, like, you know, if it's a planet, they got one thing. They got one special thing. That's it.
And it's all tied to destiny, right?
That's their GDP, dude.
It's your destiny. Like,
Mandalore's mercenaries. I'm sure there's
you make breathing apparatus for Jedi to go underground.
So Luke must have visited some planet that was just full of hookers.
The Hooker Planet?
Right? The Hooker Planet. And spawned Rey and dropped her off on
I think
Jakku.
Luke is from the Hooker Planet.
It could be. Tatooine.
I think Tatooine's a pretty dirty place. George Lucas didn't go into that part of it. But
his mom was a slave. Or his grandmother? Grandmother. Right. Grandmother.
Yeah. Weird.
Man, I could rip on Star Wars all fucking day.
Oh, it's awesome, dude. So what's your Snoke theory? Do you think
Snoke?
he's just a guy?
Okay, so here's my problem with Snoke. Okay? Why does he have to be computer generated?
Because he's Gollum. He's Gollum for Star Wars.
He's just a dude. I mean, if he had like an arm, like 2 arms coming out of his head, I can understand. Maybe he needs to have a mocap suit on.
So apparently Andy Serkis taped his jaw shut on one side because he reviewed footage from World War One of like injured trench soldiers and was like, that's the kind of disability I want this character to have. So he's just doing this like the whole time. Which, I mean, like, I don't know. I'm on the fence. Because Snoke in episode 7 is definitely not, like, my least favorite part.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my favorite part. Kind of like you're a knockoff Emperor.
Yeah. And like, does Andy Serkis have, like, a monopoly on mocap acting?
Yes. he's dude.
Is there only one dude in, like, one suit in entire Hollywood that he fits into? Right?
He is the guy. And if I was him, I'd be like, I'm one of a kind, bitches. It's like, there's like 2 Asian actors, and they're like, yeah, we need more people. Andy Serkis is like, no, it's just all me. I'm a fucking rare unicorn.
He must like put a hit out on like any other up and coming mocap actor.
Well,
right? Just so that he can monopolize the.
You know what happened, right? Jar Jar Binks. That dude will never work again.
Oh shit! You have a point.
I mean,
you can't put that on your resume. You'll never get a job.
Oh no, that dude's traumatized. All those fucking episode 1 dudes are traumatized. Yeah. You saw the Jake Lloyd like meth photo, right? Like that dude legitimately went to the dark side.
Yeah, it's kind of tragic what happened to him.
Yeah.
Fucking Star Wars fans suck, dude.
The thing is though, like, so I guess we're just gonna talk Star Wars because Ace is here, and we fucking built a bunch of Star Wars ships. So you guys got your fucking daily.
You got your bricks. Now you have to put up with
original Lego content. We gave you 5 fucking spaceships. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, 6 if you include the little.
Count the D. 6 if you count the D.
You forgot the fucking little weird airplane with the
propeller
on the top.
Jurassic Park 3. Who can forget? Actually, I guess we're just going up to number 9 now. So yeah. Anyway,
fix this.
So fucking Star Wars. What were we talking about? Jake Lloyd doing meth.
Yeah. That was tragic what happened to him, that kid.
You know what though, Doug Chiang, I feel like he kind of had to redeem. Like he was like, oh man, I did the best part of the prequels for episode 1. I don't think he did the designs for 2 and 3, right?
I don't know.
He's I have 2 signed Star Wars action figures that I will never get rid of. One is Doug Chiang. He signed a destroyer droid. Which, that's a pretty rad design. Like, yeah. I love that. And the other one was some random dude who played a Jawa. And I got him to sign my Jawa action figure, Utini. And I was like, nice. Yes, I'm winning at life. Of the collector thing, like, those are the only 2 in-package Star Wars things I have.
Right, okay.
And it's worthy of it.
So here's my issue with the destroyer droid, okay? Why didn't they just make more of those guys?
And like,
they had a
just
fucking
murder everybody.
They had a force field bubble, right? When the MTTs came out, they deployed those battle droids that fell with a rock shot, right? Wow. Like, why don't they just deploy like a bunch of fucking rolling destroyer droids and just murder all the gun gangs? They could have just fucking won the entire fucking battle.
Well, the thing is though, like the more adept and like scary, mechanically cool a droid villain is in Star Wars, the easier it is to defeat. Like. The droid deca, right? It's got fucking Gatling guns. It's got a personal shield generator.
No, but like
if you poke it real slow, you can push through the shield. But he was reach in, press the off button.
He was so scary. Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon ran away from them.
Yeah, well, they were like, fuck this.
Yeah, so
Bullshit.
why didn't they just make more of those guys? I mean, it's got a force field. They can shoot through the force field.
I'm gonna be racist against Nemoidians. I'm gonna say they're cheap.
That's not racist. That's fact.
The Nemoidians, I mean, they are part of like a trade federation.
Did you take offense to the Neimoidians having the weird bad lip acting? And the whole implication that they were like
I feel
Asian?
like the Gungans are way more embarrassing. The Nemoidians are doing business. The Gungans are like a backwater swamp people. Like, they got nothing going for them.
It's true. It's true.
Did you steal the bottle opener?
No, it's right. It was over there.
Oh, Jesus. This is turning into last night's episode all over again.
Oh, there we go.
Good times.
Are you seeing episode 8 with anybody?
Just the wifey.
Oh.
You know, we do Star Wars pretty hard as a couple. Like, my wife,
Oh, nice.
on the surface, not a nerd, right? Like,
She's very
most
nice.
people meet her and they're like, "Oh, you're."
Has she ever been on the show?
No, she.
Katie's
doesn't-
super cool.
She doesn't want to at all. At
I don't
all.
believe her.
And like, obviously, like, this is the room that people see coming in. Like,
Uh-huh.
they literally see this when they enter my house, kind of. Which, like, they used to literally have to see this when they came in.
Mhm.
And so I kind of feel like a lot of her friends are like, "Oh my God, you're married to that guy, but you're not that." She is nerdy as fuck. But only with, like, episodic sci-fi.
Mhm.
So she watches everything.
Doctor
She's
Who?
seen. That's the one she doesn't do.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
I think it's an Axis thing.
Okay.
But she's seen every Star Trek episode ever, of every series, every
Firefly?
SG-1, Firefly.
Did she do anime?
No.
Okay.
Every once in a while, I can kind of get her to go on the anime train. Like, we've watched all the Halo stuff, but, like, real anime? Like,
Cowboy Bebop? No.
no. Which
She
is
might like that. A lot of non-anime people like Cowboy Bebop.
that might be the one that I could, like, get her to bridge on. The
Okay.
thing is, like, she's down with what I do and me being a nerd, but there's definitely, like, a thing where I'm like, "Look at this transforming robot." She's like, "I don't want anything to do with that." And I'm like, "Look at this Ghost in the Shell." And she's like, "That's a naked girl." And I'm like,
See,
"Yeah, okay." And then, like, so it's Akira. Like,
Right.
and she's like, "This is violent and weird."
right.
Like,
So you actually bring up a really good topic, because I think at the time when I was starting to get into Lego and stuff, I mean, my wife at the time, who was my girlfriend, had no problems with my fucking nerd out on Macross, Lego, Star Wars,
Yeah.
anything. She had no problem with that. And at the time, I remember reading posts from people who were like, "Oh man, I have to hide my purchases under my jacket when I walk into the house."
I
And I'm
think-
like, that
I think
made me
that's-
so sad.
that's a
you know?
relationship problem
I know.
in general. Like,
So I think
it
if
can't be you.
So my whole point in saying this is, like, if you out there watching this and you have a significant other that is cool with your shit, you hang on to that, right?
And the flip side, don't stay with the haters.
Yeah.
Because they're
For
not
sure.
going to change.
They're not gonna
You're
change.
not going to win.
Once you get married, they're gonna say, "I don't want this shit in my house."
And I feel like there's definitely, like, a thing where dudes who are into super nerdy stuff,
Mhm.
like, there's kind of like a two-part thing where it's like they're super ashamed, so they keep everything secret. So if
Yeah.
any girl is down with it at all, they're like, "She's the best." And
Yeah.
I'm like, that might be a trap, bro.
Yeah.
There's lots of girls who are down with nerdy shit, and especially as it's 2017.
Oh, yeah.
Like, having this today is way easier than 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, 10 years ago, I knew dudes with this 10 years ago,
Mhm.
and they were cool as shit, but it was not accepted the same way it is now, I think.
For sure.
So much so that, like, I kept the Lego thing under wraps with work for years, dude, for years. Like,
Now it's cool, right?
I don't want to be the Lego guy.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
I
it's
still
cool.
don't want to be the Lego guy, but at least it's more normalized now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, okay.
Like, I have the Ferris wheel and the fairground mixer at my desk at work, and people come by and think, "Oh, that's so cool, it's so cool." But like 10 years ago, I don't think people would be like, why do you have that? You know,
Well,
it's a completely different attitude.
Yeah. So I have the McFarlane Sentinel. It's like that big tentacle
Uh-huh.
monster thing. So that was always like the one thing that I would bring to the
Nice.
office because it's a cool big showpiece, and
Yeah.
it's also like it's metal as fuck, dude. It's awesome, dude. So it's like there are people and people be like, oh, what the fuck, like, oh, that's crazy, but the thing now is like I have a handful of Transformers or whatever at the office, and people are always like, oh, that's so cool. Like it's now like a common
It's
kind
cool.
of normal
It's cool to be
thing.
a geek.
Yeah.
But back in the day, I think Star Wars had a lot to do with it, right? Because '99 was when they re-released that was when Episode 1 was coming out.
Well, dude, just think about this: 40 years.
Yeah,
it
took a while.
Nearly half a century. Like, if Star Wars is not cool, that's being like music isn't cool.
Yeah.
Like, or printed books aren't cool. Like this new radical technology. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely like a thing where, dude, I was actually talking about you to a coworker of mine because he's very aware that I do this and this level of nerd and stuff. And I was like, yeah, dude, this guy gave me all this fucking Lego, and he's got just like shit tons of Lego, and he bought 2 of everything, and he was like, how many sets is that? And I was like, thousands. But he was like, what are you talking about? I was like, dude, from like 2000 to now, like, this guy went hard. And like, I think the perception of that has changed so much.
Yeah.
Whereas like, there's definitely like, I feel like if you made a Reddit post where you were like, I have 1 of every Star Wars set unopened, make me an offer, like, it would go viral, dude. Like, people would be like all about that.
Yeah. It's I think nowadays with the internet and how easy it is to buy like cool toys.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's definitely on. It's on a lot more people's radar, so they're more aware of shit coming out like Voltron, right? A lot of people love Voltron, so when Toonami made the Voltron toy,
do you know that they're making?
Oh yeah,
they're making a new retro Voltron.
Are they?
Yeah. So the modern Voltron that's out, which
the one on Netflix.
Yeah, we've watched the first season. It was okay. I have no like nostalgia for Voltron.
Neither do I. But
I've told the Voltron story on here, which is like I passed on Voltron. My mom offered to buy me Voltron at like a pick and save. It was probably some knockoff thing. And I fucking passed on it, and then like 15 minutes later, cried myself to sleep because it's like you're 8 or whatever.
Yeah.
And like Voltron just wasn't for me, but like obviously it traumatized me.
Yeah.
But like the new Voltron, it's okay. But like they're making the beauty of being an adult now is like everybody that makes real business decisions grew up with the shit we're growing up with or grew up with. It's like things are. It's a good time. It's a good time to be a nerd.
And so
it's
like
definitely a good time to be
they're making old toys like Transformers. They're making the Masterpiece Transformers.
Dude, they're making like just the mainline shit. I'm getting Dinobots.
Yeah, and it's like you think back as a kid, you weren't able to get it back then, but now you can get this like version now that's even better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it's on a lot more people's radar about what's out there.
And I kind of feel like the modern thing is not even that. It's like, oh, well, there was this massively popular thing that you could get the best version of now. It's just like, yo, are you into this? Well, now you can get the best version of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, because it's so connected and so niche. Like, definitely, like, when we were talking about Brickshelf, like, and us using, dude, Brickshelf is so painful.
Yeah.
It's clumsy as fuck. You can't find anything. Like, we were trying to find John Palmer's Flicker, which we didn't find, or his Brickshelf, and we didn't find it. But, like, even just, like, slugging through it, it's just like, fuck, this is so hard. Whereas, like, right now, like, dude, I just jump on Instagram, like, bam, like, here it is, or whatever I'm looking for, like, it's instantaneous, and because of that, there's not the importance placed on, oh, I found somebody.
Yeah.
Like, of course you found somebody. There's fucking a billion of you assholes. And you're all into Doctor Who, Lego Mox, or whatever the fuck super niche weird thing you're into.
Yeah. Did you ever think, like, when Flickr came around, did you ever think, like, there'd be, like, this mass exodus from Brickshelf to Flickr? Because Flickr is, like, really just the best thing for sharing Lego models.
The thing is, for me, it was less about Flickr and more about ClassicSpace.com.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of dead websites.
Is it dead, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
I think it's, like, legitimately dead. That's how I found the modern AFOL Lego scene in Los Angeles, actually, was I moved to LA,
mm-hmm.
and I had my fucking 5 drawers of Lego or whatever, and I was like, oh shit, here's the spot where people actually talk about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just started, like, I took I'm trying to think of the first thing that I posted at Classic Space. Maybe some tiny little rover, some, like, terrible thing where I photographed it so poorly because I didn't understand there was a macro mode on my digital camera. And then some super helpful, super patient dude was like, here's how to use your fucking camera, asshole. They were nice because, you know, back in the day, everybody had to be nice.
Yeah.
And then, like...
Back in the day, people have to be nice now because people are way too fucking sensitive on the internet.
Well, and I think, like, people kind of go the other way. I mean, that's sort of why I do this, because it's like... This is the ultimate expression of that. I don't have to find people because you just put the transmission out there,
yep.
and, like, like-minded people will find it,
mm-hmm.
kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whereas, like, back in the day, you'd just be like, what? Like, I would fucking kill to hang out with dudes who were building Lego that were not ostracized children when I was an ostracized children. You know, it's like one of those things where it's like, now it's just like, this is kind of commonplace. Like, the trip for me is thinking about, like, pre-Dark Age, you know, like, oh, I'm totally alone, I'm doing this, and, like, it's a weird thing, to now where I'm like, I've been doing conventions for a decade and I have a room and it's full of Lego.
Oh yeah, the whole convention seems like blowing up like crazy. You can't go a month now without something happening somewhere.
Yeah. So, speaking of conventions, fucking shout out to LA, Bricks LA.
Oh man.
Worst time of the year ever, but I'll be there.
I don't talk about Bricks LA.
With some friends. January 5th. We're not going to get into it.
No, we're not. That's a topic that could take up a whole other show. We
probably should chat about that at some point, I guess.
Maybe someday. Maybe while at the show, because I may be there selling shit.
So I did the first Truly Live episode the other day because my wife took the laptop and I was like, my phone's not going to record this much data, so I just stream live to the internet. It's really easy, dude. It's kind of dangerous how easy it is to just broadcast your life to YouTube unfiltered.
Did you just go to YouTube or did you use Periscope or anything?
No, it's just YouTube.
Just YouTube?
It's just easy. It's easy. And, like, 2 people watch. But I guess people watch later or whatever. But, fucking Brandon loves Periscope. He loves doing the super sly, like...
I just thought of something. You should have just, like, a table, just a tribute to John Palmer.
We should.
Right?
We should.
Just have him on display.
I know the space coordinator.
Oh. Put in a good word. Maybe he'll make it happen.
Yeah. He'll definitely.
I'll bring my MXL ship. The big monstrosity.
I'll put this one together for sure.
See, I love the M-Wing so much. I'm one of those builders that are completely unoriginal. So when they see or can do a design that they really like, they'll just repeat that shit in different colors. So I had I built like a whole fleet of M-Wings, but themed after Batman characters.
But you like collecting. I'm a series of things.
Yeah. So I had like a Batman M-Wing. I had a Harley Quinn M-Wing. I had all this shit, dude. So
you were doing FBTB contests before there were FBTB contests.
Yeah.
Because I've done a couple of your contests. The Pod Racer one was really good.
Pod Racer one was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised at how much turnout there was for that one.
I really liked that one. Because that one I cranked out. I did 5 entries.
Holy shit, are you serious?
Yeah, dude, it was ridiculous. I did the diver. It was a sub with 2 dolphins.
Oh shit.
I did a. Oh man, I forget what the other ones were. I want to say there were some tacos or something, but it was fucking ridiculous.
I remember. Did Tommy do the McDonald's one?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that. That was pretty cool.
And then the other contest that I did.
Okay, can I tell you a story about that contest, that particular contest?
You can.
I'm not gonna name any names because I'm not that big of an asshole. But there's one guy who used to hang out in our chat room a lot. Okay, he built this really cool entry. But the rule was you had to submit the entry before midnight or whatever the fuck the day that was, right?
I mean, rules are rules.
Right. I mean, the fucking contest was open for a month. Okay?
Yeah, it's not like you guys are like...
So, he submits it 10 minutes late. And we say, sorry, we can't take the entry, right? Because rules are rules, right? We can't we bend it for this guy. We're going to bend it for fucking everybody. And then this shit's going to go on
10
forever.
10 minutes is kind of like within that window where he's like, I could get unreasonable about this.
Yeah.
But if you get unreasonable about it, that's on you.
Right.
Like,
so, we denied his entry. And he has completely written us off. He doesn't come into the chat room anymore.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's still bitter about it.
That's a bummer.
And I admit it was a really great entry. I'm not gonna say what it is because if you look it up, you're gonna figure out who it is.
You know what the other contest I entered, which I fucking loved?
Which one? Tell me, because I need ideas for next year.
The Marvel Mecha Contest.
Oh, that was a good one.
I made Carnage.
Oh man, I really like that one. That one was
so
good.
Cool. So good. And the entries, like the ones that won for that, there was the Mr. Freeze. Like there were so many good ones.
I remember.
And that was pre-Hulkbuster. Yeah, right?
Pre-Hulkbuster. Yeah. Hulkbuster. And then one of the things that happened in that contest was when we were seeding it because it was a tournament style.
Yeah,
which I love.
That's the best.
I love tournament style. So one of the seeds had Power Fist fighting. Iron Fist fighting? Whatever the fuck that other dude's name is. His
Luke
partner.
Cage.
Luke Cage, yeah.
Yeah.
Power Fist versus Luke Cage, and I thought, this is perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good one. We put a lot of effort into that.
There were some really impressive entries for that. It's kind of one of those things where it's like the steampunk spaceship contest didn't really do anything for me.
Really?
But like because people just make a steampunk version of something, whereas like the Marvel Mecha Contest or the Pod Racer, like there were so many crazy creative entries for both of those.
Yeah.
Like I feel like when you the tricky thing about contests, right, is like you want to be open to interpretation to allow creativity, but then you kind of need to scale it back to where it's like, because you are remarkably patient. You're a patient person. You're way more patient than I am. Just through various interactions we've had of being parts of groups and stuff. But like I don't handle kind of like the inane questions, whereas you're very proactive about like how can we avoid these, but then even when they happen, it kind of seems like everybody
there's always
on the staff is pretty well balanced.
There's always
shout out to
Don
too. Yeah. Like Don is just like, he is cool under pressure. There are so many fucking weird nerds just harassing him all the time.
You would not believe the minutia that some of these questions go into, and it's like, because when we write the rules, we try and think of every possible angle.
You're dealing with like the nerdiest of nerds, right? Because it's Star Wars and it's Lego, and like
some of these questions, like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? It's like, okay, if that's what you want to do. I remember one contest, like we had a vignette contest, right? 8x8 or some really small number, right?
Okay.
So you're like, okay, 8x8, no overhang, right? Because you don't want to build like a falcon and put it on top of the plate. What if I put
one bracket over the overhang?
No, we allowed one stud over. Okay.
Oh, you're already.
No, I know, but it was allowable because if you had like fucking shit just Greeble just hanging out, right? It's like, okay, it's acceptable.
Or
this one guy, he didn't ask, but his entry came in. He built it was like 8x8 or whatever, but it was like 32
by 32.
It was 3 feet tall, and it was the view. If you looked at it from one end, right? Because we didn't specify.
Oh, you didn't
that it had to
specify
be
the
studs
angle?
up. Yeah, so if you look at it from one
So
end, he built the trench run, like the view of the cockpit.
That's
of the X-Wing
actually
fighter.
brilliant,
Right.
dude.
We had to disqualify it because it went from 8x8 to like 10x10 or something.
Yeah.
By the time it got 3 feet up.
Well,
So it's like things like that. It's like, why would anybody think about doing that?
it's one of those things where it's like you don't want to stop that.
No, I know.
But then at the same time, you're like, you know what reasonable is,
Exactly.
right? But people don't, and people don't,
Right.
and you're dealing with a particular part of the population
Mm-hmm.
because of the website you run.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
Kids.
always gonna fucking challenge you. You're gonna get challenged no matter what.
It was kind of heartbreaking to disqualify that because it went to 8x8
Oh, I'm
or
sure
10x10 or whatever.
I'm sure it was
the fuck
gorgeous,
but
too.
it was
like, it's a fucking phenomenal concept. I'm also the guy that's also kind of an asshole, where it's like, I saw the loophole, and I'm gonna do this, not necessarily because I want to like legitimately win, but just because it's like,
yeah.
you know?
You didn't say, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna do
yeah.
it. Yeah.
So it's like, but the problem is that when you kind of combine that, like, you didn't say with the like, I legitimately feel offended that I didn't win.
Yeah.
That's when shit gets weird.
Yeah. I mean, I can appreciate when people find loopholes, right? Because it often results in a lot of surprising entries. You know, it's like, oh, I didn't think about that, but that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know? But, you know, like you said, when someone finds that loophole and does something really creative and doesn't win, it's like, then we got to deal with messages like,
Yeah. Well,
why
I mean,
didn't
that's just the price of being the dudes who are giving it. And here's the other thing. Like, anytime you involve commerce, or it's like, here's some free shit, people kind of lose their minds.
You know what I can't stand? People who complain about free crap. Dude, I am giving you the set. You're going to tell me that because it has a little crease on the side, you're going to fucking complain? Give me a fucking break, dude. You just won a contest.
Yeah.
This prize was probably $100.
Well,
don't complain.
And you also, like, when you win a contest, like, if you invested to win that contest, that's on you. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
If you won the contest, that's what you should be fucking proud of.
Yeah. Just say thank you and move on.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, but you know what it is? It's always like the runners up.
Yeah.
We're bitching about that shit.
No.
So anyway, I feel like this episode, like usual, oh my god, dude.
Is this a new record?
You're a long one, dude.
Oh,
You're a long one. Let's just stretch it out for another 2 minutes, and then we'll take the record.
Okay.
Wink, wink. Dude, I'm fucking thrilled to have you by all the time, man. Like, it's out of control, dude. So this is what Ace showed up with, besides all the other bullshit.
Oh yeah, let's go through that shit.
Oh my god.
So there's this box.
This is brand new.
And I filled it with stuff I found while going through my
inventory.
inventory.
Is this power miners?
Yeah, there's a
fuck yeah, dude.
like 1/3 of a set of a power miner thing. And the reason why this is kind of significant is that there is a lime green 4x4 radar disc.
Oh,
which is kind of cool.
Dope. I love all the power miner stuff, dude. This is a half a minifig display case.
There's like 4
Is there a
of
few
them in
more?
there, yeah.
All right. I'm really glad I added some drawers because Ace did give me a couple of previews of what was coming, and I knew my Technic was going to be fucked, so I'm properly prepared.
Yeah.
This is out of control, by the way. This is legitimately like a gallon of Lego. The other thing that's in here, Utini.
That is a first version of the UCS Sandcrawler. And I can prove it because you could see the treads right there from one of the wheel sets.
Oh shit, dude! So I just figured out the other part of this that's in here.
Yeah, there you go. See,
boom.
Look. See, I was talking about this. They connect side to side. If I could pull this apart, right? They connect side to side. They're stackable.
Toss this one.
So we'll put that right there. Let go. Oh no, this is something else. Is there more pieces in there?
Yeah. There's a few more. There. Oh, dude. So is this? How many do we have? 4?
I think so. 4 or 5.
That's pretty good. And then look at this. Brown and black unprinted heads just in a poly bag. Fucking awesome.
This one's missing a 1x4, but yeah, you get the idea. So they stack. You can connect them side to side. Not very cost effective, hence why I abandoned the project after making like 30 of these things.
So yeah, Ace is crazy. He's giving me all of his Lego.
New tan brick that's never been opened. Where's that other bag with the blank heads?
Oh, here, I just showed it off.
Okay.
It was over here. Oh, that thing.
Oh yeah. Blank brown and black heads.
And then this is what I was talking about. Ace once upon a time had kind of a sorted collection.
Yeah, it was sorted.
So this is 2 wide round bricks, 1 wide round bricks.
Tons of L plates.
L plates, and dude, I love this part. And what's awesome is I know that there's very old ones in here, which are the hollow ones.
Oh yeah. Do they not make those anymore?
So this is the modern one.
Oh,
that's
I see.
not hollow, which is kind of restrictive. But it's like that's the thing about Lego is like, just you can still have it all.
Yeah.
They still will supply that to you. Yeah. But look at this gray barrel, super gray.
There should be a couple in there.
Dude, you have sand green L plates in here. Gangster. It's crazy. It's crazy, dude. You just show up and you give me all this fucking Lego, and
it's going to a good home,
awesome,
which
man.
makes it easier.
It's awesome.
It's like I was saying before, like, you know, if I had to break this down and dump it in a Ziploc and give it to some snot-nosed kid, that would kind of break my heart. But Andrew loves this stuff. So.
Well, and it's not just me. I mean, there's plenty of people who love this stuff. So the love is definitely getting spread around. And then some of this shit, you know. Just it'll happen. It'll get going. There is a couple of like challenges I still owe you. I still want to do that UCS TIE Interceptor Fighter.
Yeah.
That's.
I texted Andrew showed that to me. I said, you know what, you can keep that. Just build something cool. So.
No, you sent me the worst kind of best text message you could send me.
What's that?
Just I expect great mocks from you.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Your reputation precedes you, Andrew. You are a good builder. I mean, you know, given your palette, you know.
The expectation bar is really high. So on that note, till next time, thank you guys for hanging out. I'm glad you fucking watched us build some mocks, drink some Einstock.
This was a good beer.
It was. Till next time.
Peace out.
We'll see you in the future.